let Dr. Meredith Watson, Wealth and Zen Coach, teach you how to turn the price of what you would pay for 4 gallons of milk into $2,000 using your innate talents. Visit www.wealthyzen.life. She will help you uncover and dissect your badass narrative, which will allow you to journey into a purpose-driven life where you can afford to do what you want, when you want, as often as you want. Check out her free audio ebook at www.wealthyzen.life. It's Dr. Meredith Watson, Mac Boss, Wealth and Zen Creation Coach. I help you take what you would pay for about 4 gallons of milk and turn it into $2,000 using your innate habits and talents. I help you uncover and dissect your badass narrative and allow you to journey into a purpose-driven life where you can afford to do what you want, when you want, as often as you want. Check out my free audiobook in the comments. Today we're going to talk about casting into the sea. When you know that every form of disease and sickness and lack and limitation and simply the result of wrong thinking, you will have to know that the truth will set you free. You will see how mountains can be moved, and if those mountains consist of doubt and fear and distrust or other forms of discouragement, they're no less real and they need to be removed and cast out into the sea. A lot of us are going through life on the premise, on the foundation of limiting beliefs and self-doubt and fear and distrust and old stories and paradigms and rhetoric that we've been told all of our life. I was told I was 4 eyes fatso and that if I didn't follow the family tradition, I would bump and I would just, spontaneously combust and never be who I wanted to be. And I realized that I had so many limiting beliefs about not being enough and not belonging and not being where I wanted to be and worried about causing a ruckus and not causing or fanning any flames and not upsetting anyone and walking on eggshells and not living in my truth at the expense of my sanity and my well-being and my mental health, also that I could fit into a box, even though I never felt like I belonged, for other people. These boxes were created by other people, and they forgot to leave air holes. I'm suffocating, trying to fit in and trying to be a part of and to feel like I belonged. I was ill a little while ago and called my mom, told her that I was sick, and I basically spent 2 hours symbolically and almost literally begging her to say the one thing that would give me the fight that I needed. And I cried after we got off the phone because I realized she wasn't going to come to the table. She was not going to come to the mat and play the game that I needed her. Not a game, but she wouldn't come and do what I needed her to do. It was almost like she choked on the very words that I needed to hear. And as a mother, if my daughter needed something, there isn't a thing in the world, hell or high water, that would keep me from giving her exactly what she needed if I could give it. The fact is, my mom could give it and she wouldn't. But it taught me a lesson. I've been doing a lot of ancestral healing, a lot of feminine and masculine healing and what I mean by that is learning that I, for the longest time, had a huge issue with the divine feminine. And every time I thought of feminine, I thought of this pussyfied woman who couldn't stand on her own 2 feet, needed her husband to protect her and brave the wind for her. She couldn't live or function on her own. Come to find out, it was literally a deep resentment inside of myself because these women have people to protect them, and I've never had anyone to really protect me and to really coddle me and love me and take care of me. I've always done things on my own. I've always blazed the road alone because that's basically what I was told I had to do. And then it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. I attracted less than strong men. The men in my family, a lot of them were strong and some of them weren't. But the women were total ball busters. Still are. But to really hone in and dive deep into the fact that I could be open to receiving. I could let people do for me and not owe them anything. The reciprocal would be that I give to them, they give to me, and we have an exchange and a wonderful, beneficial, and mutually reciprocal relationship that was built on love and trust and understanding. That I owed myself that. I deserved to have people in my life that loved me and wanted to be with me and to walk with me in this path and this journey, and that they didn't want to lord over what they'd done for me, that I owed them my firstborn child. It's a hard pill to swallow when you realize that a lot of why you're not manifesting and receiving the things that you want is you're not open. You're not open to receiving for whatever reasons. Or maybe you are too afraid to let anybody do anything for you. Maybe you were told that you should never depend on anyone, you shouldn't lean on anyone, stand on your own 2 feet, be your own woman, be your own man, don't show emotion, don't get, pussyfied or whatever you want to call it. But it's really truly about knowing that you are the child of an infinite source and you deserve everything you've ever wanted. Everything you want is yours to have. And when you finally open yourself up to the fact that you deserve, you belong, you're the child of an infinite source, and if you take the necessary action steps to get what you want and you call those things in and you're open to receiving, then it is yours to have. The second I opened up to receiving, things just started to come my way. I got a promotion in my first practice. My daughter's father finally said he let me out of our marriage. I called in a lower offer on my dream house that it could be even more affordable than it already was. My mom did call a lot, even though she's never quite said what I was looking for. She kind of did, but she kind of choked on the words. But hey, yeah, a little bit is better than nothing. And I started to feel really good in a way that I had not felt in any other capacity. And it was the most amazing feeling in the world, because I realized that a lot of that healing that I'd been doing, the journaling, the polarity, the coaching, the looking into myself and doing the mindset work and the journaling, and yes, the healing, just really being open to having someone kind of be the eyes and the ears and see things from a different perspective and call out things and point out things that I was afraid to call out, and to really help me to see what I was not seeing, that I had wounds that needed to be healed, that I had issues that I needed to resolve, that I had unanswered questions, and I had unanswered and unresolved backlog of limiting beliefs and not feeling like I was enough because 2 people almost 40 years ago decided to create me but didn't want the job of parenting me, which is like mind-boggling. And kind of realizing that theory of I'm not wanted, I'm not needed, nobody cares is not true. And also I started following all the other colleagues of mine and realizing to keep my eyes on my own paper. I'd always done it, and then I got into the rote and repetition and the grind of following other people to see what they had to say, when my voice is what's important. These are the people that have their audience and I have my audience. Clients are drawn to me because I have my own brand. I am my brand. I create life within people and I help them call out the life that they want. I help them make their dreams a reality. I teach them to create products and offer products through a tier system and generate wealth and residual and passive income. I always come back to home plate, which is helping people create passive and residual income, digital products, selling with soul. And I won't run my business or my life like other people. I want to live it authentically and soulfully, and just clear my mind of anything that weighs me down, that doesn't give me strength and lights me up. It's really easy. I don't know if any of you ever had this. You want something so bad and then it starts to look like you're going to get it. And then you really have to face the fact of whether you truly want it or not. And how much peace and ease and functional ability you'll finally have when you have what you really want. I love taking my daughter on field trips. We love museums and aquariums and beaches and mountains. We love all the things. And we like getting in the car and listening to music and singing and talking and sharing. But I love that time with her. And now and then I send her to her dad's, or it's his turn to have her, and I go off by myself. And just the clarity that I'm able to accomplish is so important. And it's important that you spend time in meditation, in contemplation of who you truly are at the core, and really figure out if where you are is where you want to be. And if you're stagnant or stuck or not where you want to be, is it because you're not digging deep? Is it because you haven't healed old wounds? Is it because you haven't gotten to know yourself? See, I want to teach people how important it is to journal and to heal in spite of and dig deep And my real deeper thought is that you don't have what you want because you don't believe you deserve it. And you don't have the knowledge of the root cause of why you don't think you deserve it. And you're not healing, and your healing is complete or it never started. Everything has a root cause, a reason, an effect. And our job is to find out what it is so we can capitalize and catapult on that newfound knowledge and then create the abundance we deserve. We're children of an infinite source. Why shouldn't we have what we desire? And I was so afraid that because of past rhetoric and past paradigms that I could not have the wealth that I desire because the money would run through my fingers. I'm not good with money. That's not true. I'm very good with money. I could crunch numbers from here to kingdom come. But because of past paradigms, past rhetoric in my head about how other people live their life, I thought that was going to fall prey to me, and it's not. I actually help people monetize their passions and offer their passions in a tier leveled kind of strategic plan to create wealth and create zen and reduce the mind garbage and create meditation practices and spiritual practices and tranquility practices where you can have that zen life, where you can have the life that you always dreamed of, where you can create the things that give you hope and joy and peace. And you don't have to listen to the old rhetoric in your head. You don't have to keep going stagnant, believing things that no longer serve you. You have to sometimes question everything you've ever known. Really question your belief system. You know, some individuals believe there's no chance of ever living the sort of life that they want. Somebody in their past told them that they would never make anything for themselves, so they go on accepting this message. Something in their heads keeps telling them that it's not worth making the effort because they'll never succeed. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't want to fall prey to the thought that something must be true because that's what everybody else has said. And many share this notion that because mom and dad and sister and brother and friends and cousins and aunts and uncles say something, that it's the gospel. And that's not true. If at any point you have any doubt that what you've been hearing for X number of years is wrong, take that belief and dissect it for what it truly is and start really looking at it. And how true is it? How can you refute it? How can you tear it apart? Is it really concrete gospel evidence? Or is it just something you've been told all your life and now it's like, that doesn't make sense. I grew up in the church my whole life, pastor for 10 years. And now that I've started to delve deep into the fact that spirituality and believing that the infinite source and a greater universal God who I co-create to make the life of my dreams I can pray to about my weakest moments and my strengths and my weaknesses and my joys and my sorrows, and they care, they have my back, they are actually for me, and it's not this cosmic God who wants to just drill down, damnation on my soul. It's a lot more freeing. A lot more freeing. Fire and brimstone was what I heard all of my life, and it didn't seem very loving to me. But to now know that there's a cosmic universal God who's out there, who cares about me and trusts that we can co-create this wonderful life together. And I came here to teach something. I came here to learn something. I came here to grow and evolve, but to get it right. And to be able to trust that everything is happening in a way that's going to help me grow and learn and evolve. And it's not happening to me, but it's happening for me. That's a huge, huge pivotal moment. And you can believe and serve and have a spiritual practice based on where you are and what really lights you up. And it's really enticing to take comfort in belief when life is hard and the future is unsure, and beliefs help you feel stable. You'll feel anxious about distinguishing the ideas you've trusted, and then you realize they could be false. And everything you've ever thought, everything you ever dreamed, everything you ever leaned on is false. And all of a sudden you need to change everything and look at everything and dissect everything. That can be very scary. You realize that those outdated paradigms don't work for you. And you start to wonder how long you've been listening to this and not even questioning whether or not it works for you, if it's applicable to your life. All, black women have big hips. That's not true. and all black people are destined for diabetes. That's not true. You can change your attitude, your food intake, your exercise regimen. Um, your mother was promiscuous, your grandmother was promiscuous, your great grandmother and your great great grandmother were all promiscuous. That could change with you. That buck can stop with you. That toxic behavior and that, kind of flagrant behavior can stop with you. You don't have to continue a cycle that doesn't serve you. I used to say when I was younger that some of the things that I saw, the traditions, they were going to stop with me because I didn't feel they served me and I didn't feel that they were beneficial. It took a lot of strength because I come from some strong ass women. And you don't buck them. You don't go against what they say because what they say is the gospel. But to take myself and know that I had enough strength and backing from the universe to get what I wanted, to really achieve my desires, whatever they were, whether they look like everybody else's or not, was huge. And you have to really start to trust yourself, really know yourself, delve deep and learn who you truly are at the core. And it's going to be uncomfortable. You may get laughed at, picked on, ridiculed, outcast, written out of the will, but you'll be happier and more secure in yourself. And how many of the notions are you going to believe? Money is hard to get. You can't earn money. Money doesn't grow on trees. By the way, it does because it's paper and paper grows on trees. And, most rich individuals become rich at the expense of the misfortune or the unfortunate. Most rich individuals got rich by executing something legal. Money's the root of all evil. Being rich, unpitying money grubbing. You don't deserve to be rich. Being rich is immoral. Poor individuals are more truthful than rich people. Poor individuals are more religious. Rich people are hostile and rude, filthy rich. Work as hard as you can to dissemble those beliefs and see if you really believe that. There are a lot of philanthropic people, Oprah, and a lot of the players on sports teams and actors are activists and they're philanthropic. They like to give back, and I love to give back. And if you had more to give, wouldn't that be nice? Like, you have to really take those beliefs apart and figure out if they're really true. Maybe you think your parents weren't rich, so therefore you can't be rich. And even though you've worked so hard, you're not rich yet. And if you were supposed to be rich, by now you would be. And rich individuals are extraordinary, high IQs, talented, very originative. But think about a lot of the people who were once upon a time or are rich, and they were told that they were failures. Oprah was told that she wouldn't be a good newscaster. The Beatles were told that they didn't have the right tune. They couldn't sing. Walt Disney was told he didn't have imagination. People decided that they were going to take the bull by the horns, not get caught up in the rhetoric of what they couldn't do, and show the world what they could do. And you don't have to work a 9-to-5. You don't have to follow the same pattern that everybody else does. Trust yourself. Trust what you know is true, and that it's true for you. What's true for your mother and father and cousins and sisters may not be true for you. And what you trust about money is regulating both how much money you make as well as how you make it. Your notions about money determines whether you get infinite abundance or whether you are continually fighting to make ends meet. Your notions about money molds whether you produce money through distress or have a dead-end job you detest, or whether money will come to you easily, effortlessly by merely being a magnet for money coming to you. You need to be an open receptacle vessel, ready to be utilized to change the world in a mighty way and have an energetic exchange of money, because all money is energy, and create the life you want. Your notions about money influence your financial comfort zone, which is what you feel kind of comfy on a subconscious level. You need to decide what your theory, what your strategy, what your feelings about money is. Your financial comfort zone is partly decoded by preceding experience with money. Maybe you had to declare bankruptcy. Maybe you grew up poor. And unless you're willing to chuck those limiting beliefs and center on the right now, you're fully equipped to produce whatever you want. You desire something, it's yours to have. You can create wealth. You have the license right now to experience financial wealth. It's all about stabbing those limiting beliefs in the chest and killing it. How would your life be different if you had the notion that money comes to you easily as the air you breathe? How would your life be different if you thought money is just a sort of energy in which you live and move, and that all the money that you could possibly need will come to you if you're willing to let it into your life? Now, if you're troubling answering these questions, you need to decide what your money story is. What is your true story about anything that you're stagnant about? Maybe you keep attracting broke, codependent, violent, awful, stingy, awful people into your life, or weak ass men, because you're not addressing the underlying root cause. Maybe you draw in leeches because of your limiting beliefs that you don't deserve to have someone give, but only you're supposed to give. Martyrs are burned at the stake. You need to decide what it is that you want to bring into this world, who you are at the core, what makes you happy, and how you're going to utilize your skills and monetize your passion and become everything you ever wanted to have the life that you wanted. Because with the right ignition, you can drive into the direction of your most inherent needs. I challenge you to do that. Again, I'm Dr. Meredith Watson, Wealth and Zen Creation Coach. I teach you how to turn what you'd pay for about 4 gallons of milk, turn it into $2,000 using your innate talents. I help you discover, uncover, dissect your badass narrative, which will allow you to journey into a purpose-driven life where you can afford what you want, when you want, as often as you want. Check out my free audiobook. I look forward to seeing you the next time. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Thanks for joining us for our latest hot topic on Phoenix Radio, where we rise above the ashes as we discuss mindset meandering and life hacks and business mastery. Be wealthy and zen. Invest in your wealth. If you have questions about life, business, or mindset, email questions to meredithw@consultant.com, and we'll do our best to address your issues on the show. Be wealthy and zen and invest in your wealth at www.wealthyzen.life.